Whoa, look, it's time to go viral. I'm homicidal, I'm killing all my rivals. I'm the man, shit, I put that on the Bible. I Spotify my target, cause you know I got the title. Hey, I'm a Mac too. I told baby shake that ass like she Apple. She said it's real, so she got my name tattooed. House full, so I hit it in the back room. Whoa, baby said she need it now, peep the urgency. I want a little Kim before she had the surgery. Leg spread on that hardcore poster. She love twerking, she just do it for the coach. Big dog, bull master. 6 tray Chevrolet, I'm classic. All these niggas mad at me, that's tragic. The main bitch in the bed, that's graphic. Yeah, we about to go viral. Hey.
What's the deal, people? It's your boy, the one and only, your host that do the most, Mr. Viral himself, aka the villain, because they hate me for my opinion. Welcome everybody back to another episode of the Viral Way Podcast. Make sure you share, like, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna get right into it today. I got my co-host with me.
Shoulder in the building, baby. I know what it is. Back at it.
The one and only. We got the lovely
Darian.
We got Darian. We got Darian in the house.
Man, don't be humble. The realtor, the mogul.
Come on.
If you need to buy a house in Atlanta or in California, she's the one need to get at. She's being humble right now.
Definitely tap in if you need some property.
For real.
And if you're from the city, you know this cat right here. Well known, highly respected. We got the one and only.
That's what's up. Slauson Ave activist, former teacher at John Mayer Middle School.
Slauson Ave activist. What's the deal?
You know, former teacher at John Mayer Middle School. I did the Boys to Men Enrichment Program. Okay. And then I do film and photography in the city. So that's my perfect balance between righteousness and ratchetness. Yeah, you know what I mean?
The righteous ratchet one. I like that.
The best hood, you feel me? Anything worth being hood for is our kids. Surviving for, dying for, and striving for.
I like that.
Off top.
I like that. Speaking of the kids, that's what this episode is about. This is a topic that's near and dear to me that I take great pride in is parenting. We want to speak. I want to speak about modern day parenting because I feel kids today, parents today, we got to overcome so many obstacles that parents of past generations couldn't even imagine. They didn't even fathom these would be issues, but we got to deal with it. So I want to go over some of these topics today. But before we get into that, let them know about your fatherhood program that you got going on.
So I started this this camera shit during COVID because I had to figure out how to teach on Zoom. So I was teaching the African American history program at Augusta Hawkins High School. Being a day one popular nigga and the ratchet, you know, I'm outside. I was in one of them relationships where I had to leave the house. We wasn't gonna survive COVID. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Me and Miss So and So from the school that we was working with, we wasn't gonna be able to survive COVID. So I guess that camera shit just ended up taking some feet of his own and just grew. Like niggas just saw me at the function, saw the recaps. That's why a lot of those recaps niggas wasn't getting charged for them. Cause I was just there partying, trying to figure the camera shit out. And then like me already having a relationship with, you know, the local gangs and stuff. And my first business was off the porch, trying to get people to do different programs at they hood park. Father at the Best Hood was an easier way so that niggas understood that it's supposed to be the same type of energy as gangbanging, but for our kids. So I did one with my boy HB Trey from, where this nigga from? What is that? St. Andrews, A-Trey Gangsters. Mm. You know, and motherfuckers thought that was like the neighborhoods and the A-Trey Gangsters getting together, not understanding my name, you feel me? I did one with at Jesse Owens Park with the neighborhoods.
Yeah, 90s to 100s, all them over there.
All of them. When I first started, I was, you know, some of my best friends is from Hoover. I went to 52nd Street Elementary School, so they a lot of them from Fadus, Hoover, and Troubles. So I just kind of like, you know, work with whoever fuck with me, you know what I mean? Like my brother here, I'm like, yo, let's go to your hood park. You feel me? I seen you, I met you working with Joe.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He an honorary member of the 50s.
Shout out
so,
Joe Moses.
Yeah. So like try to get all them hoods that's around John Mayer Middle School. I work with all of them because, you know, us, you know, suit and tie motherfuckers, we don't really get fucked with. You know, them niggas that look like they selling bean pies be good in the hood.
Yeah, I like how you do. I like how you tour the hoods, but then you still bring a positive message out of it as far as speaking to fathers in the hoods. Like, what does fatherhood mean to you? That's dope. Keep that movement going. I'm fucking with that.
Off top.
Definitely fucking with that.
Off top. And then I got to meet your twin, you feel me?
Yeah.
This nigga got a miniature version of himself walking around here with no facial hair. You feel me?
Yeah, that's a fact.
That shit's crazy.
Cash is a little beast.
Hell
So
yeah.
today, I want to discuss parenting. I feel parenting in 2023, we got to deal with obstacles that no other generation of parent had to deal with. Man. Especially in the climate today where it feels like with the politics are going after the children. We got to fight the LGBT influence. They're trying to turn your sons into daughters. They're trying to turn your daughters into men. Now we got this pedophilia shit that's running rampant. It seems like they're trying to normalize that. We got the social media aspect that we got to battle with. Because back in the day, if you had a daughter, all you had to do was keep her off the pole. Yep. Keep your daughter off the pole, you won. We got to keep our daughter off the pole. We got to keep our daughter off Instagram private stories. We got to keep our daughter off OnlyFans. It's a whole nother world. So I want to speak about, let me see, how can I start this? Did anybody see that clip with the Dalai Lama?
Yeah, disgusting.
Did everybody see that clip? Okay, for the ones that didn't see it, we're going to run that short clip for you.
Yeah. Then I think finally here also. And suck my tongue.
It's like an 80-year-old tongue in your
That's
mouth.
crazy.
Ugh.
That's crazy. Telling
That's
a little
crazy.
boy to suck your tongue is crazy. And the fact that I don't really see too much outrage.
Nah, nothing's gonna happen to him.
I don't really see, like, I seen a couple tweets here and there, but there's really no national outrage. Is mind-boggling to me.
I think he did issue an apology.
Mm-hmm.
He did issue an apology. That was it.
Yeah, but an apology. I don't.
I agree. Listen, it's nowhere near enough. But he did issue an apology because everybody was like, "That's sick."
Like, even there on the scene, it's obviously a room full of adults, and the fact that they just sat back and allowed this to go on with no type of intervention, that just got my mind going, where the fuck are we at in the world that a grown-ass 80-year-old man can not only... Let's just say the kiss is their culture. Like, okay, that's their culture. All right, cool. But to stick your tongue out and say, suck my tongue, who jokes with a kid like that?
That's more intimate, I believe, than giving head. Because it's like, you ain't sucking nobody's tongue, especially after post-COVID now. Like, all what's going on.
Damn,
that's definitely some pedophilia shit.
Man.
I couldn't even imagine that being my son and me being in that room.
Yeah, he would have got fired on.
Yeah.
Dalai Lama would have been...
I definitely would have been in some cuffs.
See, I think that's what's the problem because most of the time you got the men of the community that kind of govern the land. You feel me? So like if that's some shit that would have happened in our community, us as brothers would have came together and be like, yo, is we good with this shit? Because we don't need them to go to jail. Just leave them outside. You feel me? Leave
Right.
tongue sucker outside and see what happens.
Tongue sucker is crazy.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, but where are we at in the world to where you can literally tell a little boy, suck my tongue, and oh yeah, I was just joking, and it's why it's accepted. It's like, what the fuck are we standing up for? I feel like this generation ain't standing up for anything. And I blame the men, honestly, because it's on us to make the change. You got them putting books in school telling boys, okay, this is how you suck dick. And it's like, where's the fucking outrage? I don't see it. How do y'all feel about that? The whole LGBT pushing LGBT sex on kids in school.
Them motherfuckers got homies in high places that do weird shit like that.
Yeah. They like the new Illuminati. They like the new
homies
Illuminati
around
as far as
places.
pressing the agenda and things like that. And I feel like, honestly, sex should be discussed at a certain age once that child is mature enough. But to introduce homosexuality and at an early age when they don't even know who they are themselves, it's way more confusing now for what we had growing up. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't discussed or even widely accepted how it is right now. Because growing up, I didn't even know what LGBTQ was. It was just gay. It wasn't no bi and queer or what. It was just the gay or you straight. It wasn't nothing in between. So now all these labels and stuff like that, it's even more confusing now with the pronouns and non-binary and stuff like that, and how we got to just talk to other adults and whatever their pronoun is. You know what I'm saying? So I can just let alone a 7-year-old child who's just now learning how to be independent of, using the bathroom by themselves, going to school, packing lunch. Now I got to know what sexuality I may be, what category I fall in. It's confusing, man.
I mean, our land is governed by white patriarchy. So usually, if we take notes from our white brothers, if they ain't going for some shit, they ain't going for some shit.
Yeah.
And if some shit going, that means somebody is taking a step back and they letting some shit pass.
Yep.
Because that's usually how it work, right? They'd be like, the blacks ain't doing something right now, the blacks ain't doing it. Women ain't doing something right now, women ain't doing it. So if some shit like that is going on, it's going to be because the white patriarchy haven't came together because, they the ones that's in power and say, yo, we ain't doing this. Because I'm pretty sure they ain't doing that shit in Texas. I'm pretty sure them Texas niggas ain't like going for it.
But see, that's my point is, if some shit like that go down in Texas, they grabbing them guns, they getting in them pickups, and it's lit. It's up. What we doing?
But that's also a Republican state. You got to realize we are in California. This is a liberal left state. Like we're so far left that we see the world totally different than like those conventional rural areas that's very church going and things like that. So you got to realize we're coming from a different perspective than like Texas and stuff like that. So it's us, like you said, as fathers, we got to step in and teach our children, nah, that's not cool. This is what you're supposed to do. And I feel like teaching LGBT stuff at an early age, there's some other things we can teach, like economics, credit scores. It's other things financial literacy. And we can teach kids other things than sexuality at that young of an age.
Yeah, I couldn't see the black community going for it. Like a black charter school ran by black people, I wouldn't see them.
But we can't say that because we going for it. Because the books are in the school now, and
But he said a black charter school, and I agree.
Yeah.
Like Dr. Umar.
You mean like Black Ren?
Like Dr. Umar.
I couldn't see Verban Day being like, yo, we gonna teach some wild shit.
Or like King Drew. That's a predominantly like blacks ran school and things like that. I don't see them like really.
Because black people, like for us as a culture, we ain't never had no problem with the gay people. Like as a black culture, motherfuckers be knowing who ain't going to invite nobody to the family dinner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just got jokes for everybody. If you look too good, it'd be like you pretty motherfucker.
We pretty boy ass metrosexuals and shit.
Because we that type of people that we come from Africa. We got resources. Facts. We ain't never hating on nobody. We ain't never coming from a cave where it's dark all the time and we gotta like hoard a grip of shit. That's not us. So like we don't got no beef with that. And I think that's what a lot of our leaders, like, when you look at the Tariq Nasheeds and the Dr. Umars, it's like, yo, we ain't really got no beef with that. Like, the gay people in our community, it's like, all right, nigga, that's what you like doing.
I think what it is, sometimes they try to put their injustice with our civil injustice. And I feel like that right there is not the same thing. Because you can be a white homosexual male and suppress your gayness and still live your life. We cannot suppress our skin color. He can't go outside and be more light-skinned.
Right.
Yeah, but this is what I want to ask y'all, and I want to get your input on it too. Where do we draw the line, and where do we actually show, hey, this is the line? Because like I watch school board meetings on YouTube, and I'll see the clips of parents talking to the school board, and they got the books, and they got the kids reading the lines from the books, and it's literally saying, hey, Jimmy, have you ever sucked a dick? Like, this is how you do it. And they're like, please get the books out of our school. And I'm like, why are we begging for them to get the books out of the school? If we telling them, hey, we don't want our kids reading this shit, why are we not then going in the school and taking the books out ourselves physically? Like, where are we drawing the line at? Like, oh, I don't want to go to jail and all that. Man, fuck all that.
They have that kind of stuff taken out if they wanted to. But that goes back to the parenting, like the PTA conferences, PTA meetings. Are you showing up? Are you present? Are you there for the vote? Versus getting on social media and being outraged. Like, what are you doing in the schools?
Follow up, like some type of follow up.
Like volunteering. Are you was it mom room teachers and all that? Like, are you vocal then versus after the fact? I feel like nowadays a lot of people are vocal after the fact. You have more to say up front, speak it then prior to it coming into law or whatever else they, bring it in is.
Because when you think like women usually had a control over the kids. And then y'all put us in like this marginal position where we gotta either come with some money and resources and like visitation with our kids. How do the women feel about who dictates what goes on with the programming with our children?
I think most feel like it should start at home and it should start with the mom or the father if it's a 2-parent household. But I think for a lot of people, like I was saying, I think they care after. They like to be outraged. Like people always say on social media, like the fake outrage. Like you're outraged because other people find an issue with it. But had you been present, had you been there for the parent-teacher conferences, have you been there for the curriculum nights, have you been there when they're creating these What's they called? I'm trying to like the little books, the handout
Yeah.
books and stuff they give. Sorry, I'm far removed
Syllabus
at this
and
point. But yeah,
agenda,
stuff
yeah.
like that. Had you paid attention to those, then you could have got petitions signed by other parents or just community leaders, PTA boards and stuff like that, and made a difference. But I think again, when you start coming behind after the fact, you only care after somebody else is upset about it or somebody else points it out, then I think that's what kind of throws it off because it becomes a whole fake outrage. Or you're outraged today, but then tomorrow you're back to normal. So it's like, well, did it really bother you? Because if it did, you would continue that ongoing day and week until you see change versus being upset today and then tomorrow, something new on social media and you done moved on.
See, I'm speaking on it because I'm finding it alarming that people aren't more outraged, and fuck being outraged, people aren't doing anything. It's like you get on social media, you make a post, and it's like, oh, all right, I did my part. The books is still in there. This pedophilia shit is still going on.
But that's what I'm saying. Stuff like petitions and stuff like that work.
No, fuck petitions. Fuck petitioning. You got books in elementary school telling kids how to suck dick. That's past a petition now. Now it's
but you said how to get it out. So how to get it out would be, yes, the parents. If let's say that elementary school had 500 kids in it. If you got a petition signed by all the parents, had that forwarded up to your superintendent board and stuff like that, they can get things like that done. But again, that goes back to not that long. I'm telling you, if you actually, you'll be surprised. Like, I mean, my daughter's older now, but when she was in school, like, I went to everything, every meeting, everything, like ongoing, like took time off if I needed to. So if you're actually doing that, you will find out there's a lot more things that will be changed. School lunch has been changed. Like, so many things can get changed based upon you, the parents, being active and being present and going up and making sure your voice is heard. And again, if the school doesn't make a move, you go to that superintendent, they're going to make a move because eventually they'll stop getting money and funding from the government. Like, it's a lot of factors that go into those type of complaints.
Let me ask you this, though. If the government is giving them funding to do it, how does that work?
See, I don't know because they didn't have that in school when my kid was in school.
I get pushback on that. Okay. Like, my kids, they dealing with a lot of racist shit in their schools.
Yeah.
It's been going on for like the last 3 years. We done been to school board meetings. We done went to superintendent, sent emails. They don't give a fuck.
But when you say that we've done that, how many people are you having back? Is it just you or you and one of the parents? Or are you coming with hundreds of parents?
I'm finding out this is a lot of parents. Like, a lot of people that went to the board already.
When they went to the board, did they go individually or did 100 of y'all go at once and was like, we demand answers, we demand these things?
It's been people going. It's been people going.
Yeah, but the more of y'all in the masses, the more y'all that go collectively as a group, the more of the more of the threat, the more call the news station, call the thing. Like, you can get things like that done.
That I can agree
on. Going up there
on.
with 2 and 3 parents at a time, you just one of 1,000.
That I can agree on, but that's my point is where's this at? Because we know this type of shit is in there. We know this type of shit is being taught and everybody is saying, I don't want this taught to my kids, but there's no action. There's zero. I don't see no action.
And they might be like you. They might be outraged, but they may feel like, oh, well, I did this and it didn't work. So just like, I'm going to just tell them something different at home as opposed to collectively getting together and making a difference. I know when my kid was in school, they used to send home things. Even when it came to like sex, they would send home paperwork and say, you have to sign and say you approve of your child being in the room to hear about this. If not, we'll put your child in like gym and let them do recess or something for like that hour while we teach the other kids who parents approved on them learning about like sex and stuff like that. So I think it depends on where your kid go to school at, for one, but two, the more y'all get together, you can make a difference in the school board. I'm telling you, you can, especially start getting them news people involved. You can make a difference.
I would say this, bro. Like, I get my hood name from the fact that LAUSD got sued for suspending black boys, and they couldn't just suspend them no more. So they created a whole like funding source where they had to give them alternative discipline.
Right.
And that alternative discipline allowed me to teach a class during school hours. So like I had like 3 periods where I was teaching them shit like Malcolm X, Che Guevara, how to tie a tie, a group of shit. But it was because LAUSD got sued and they couldn't suspend the black boys no more. The funding granted me a job. You feel me? Mm-hmm. But like a lot of this shit that we disagree with, like we wouldn't even be aware of this if it wasn't for the shit going viral. Mm-hmm. So I think like when it comes to like the kids being able to identify with shit, we ain't gonna be able to run from it because it's a mandate on all media that you put an LGBTQ character. That's why you got to see one in power. Yeah. It's a mandate. Like, you can't even do anything in Hollywood if you don't. Put a character in a film or in any type of media that identifies with this group because they feel like they've been so marginalized. You feel me? But the boys, the difference is like with the boys in the hood and they so aggressive and disagreeable and male authority that they start checking out in middle school and high school anyway. So it's like our girls are doing really well. But it's like, how do we reel our boys back in? And then when they go into the all-boys schools and they dealing with, like, coaches, you know what I mean, and mentors, that's when they do a lot better. You feel me? But it's certain people that, like, identify with shit that they gonna go that way. But a lot of the stuff like with our boys and people and how they identify themselves, it ain't gonna be no way to run around it when it comes to that part. You know what I mean? And then the other shit in the hood, we ain't even got that many resources. I don't think we gonna be there yet where we could put some like slick fly shit in there like that. You feel me?
See, I think maybe what I'm saying is getting misinterpreted. I'm not trying to run from the LGBT shit. Like you said, we don't have no problem with whatever lifestyle you want to live. Black people are the most loving, forgiving people. We love everybody and forgive everybody,
we are,
and we accept everybody.
Yeah.
It's not
That's our
about the
fault.
non-acceptance. I'm talking about the pedophilia shit where you got adults teaching your kid about sexual acts in elementary. That's where I'm like, okay, where's the outrage? Where's the men in the community making a stand? Like you said, we only know about it because it go viral. Maybe we got to go do some shit to go viral. Maybe the fathers need to go storm the school, take the books and burn them motherfuckers. Like, listen, this shit is out. We ain't waiting on no fucking board meetings. We ain't waiting on none of that. This is out. This is where we drawing the line as a community.
And I'm telling you, curriculum night is huge. Like, that's one of those where, yes, and I know it may sound cliche, but like, if you go there and you go to all them classes wherever your kids, let's say your kid has 6 teachers. During curriculum night, you go to all 6 teachers, meet them, and you look through it. Like, they literally go over everything they're going to teach your child for that entire year. Like, I used to literally be like, let me get a copy of it. Every month, I'd be asking my kid, did you learn this? What did y'all go over? What y'all do? If this is not like in line with what the curriculum says it's supposed to be, I'll be emailing the teacher. It seems like y'all are supposed to be on this subject matter at this time. You're not here. What's the update? How are y'all behind? Are y'all gonna get, like, it's like you have to almost be that involved, like to know like exact. Because my thing is this, another thing too that messes up a lot of situations like that. Like, your kid go to school, they may get A's and B's. You come home, you be like, oh, the kid's doing good. But it's like, did they learn what they were supposed to learn? Just because your kid passed a grade or something like that, that doesn't mean that was what they were supposed to. Exactly. That doesn't mean that was what they were supposed to obtain or retain during that school year. So it's like, that's why you need a copy of that curriculum. Then you can not only hold your child accountable when they come home to whatever the teacher taught, but you can also hold that teacher accountable. Like, this wasn't in the curriculum, so why did they learn this? Or this was in the curriculum, when are you going to teach this? Because I would have teachers all the time, they'd be like, oh, well, we were behind because some of the kids came back from summer and they were behind. They lost some of the stuff from last year, so we had to spend, okay, well, when y'all going to catch up? Because my kid wasn't behind, because in summer we went to camp, we did this, they're like, so when you going to catch up? So when are they going to get to this part? Because now we need, like, you need to almost be like literally to the T.
But that's
in order to make
accountability.
sure.
So you're speaking from a accountable parent.
Yeah.
Most of us don't come from accountable parents. You got to realize you're a mother who's very involved with their children. What about the mothers that have multiple kids and they can't have that same energy to keep up with? You see what I'm saying? You just kind of marginalize most of I don't know your upbringing, but I know from my upbringing, I have multiple siblings. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, me too. I didn't get it. So that's why I gave it to mine. So what you're saying, I ain't get it.
So now that is something that we're doing because
right.
I know for sure I didn't have it growing up, so I'm going to be more active in my child's life. So I'm breaking generational curses just sound like you did. Right. I'm not saying that that's how you grew up, but you're doing something that that's
different.
That's different.
My mom didn't know no
so
curriculum.
I'm doing
she
it.
She had time for that.
So but the ones that don't have that extra parent that's doing what you're going to do, how do we help them then? Like, it's like
honestly, in today's age, it is very interesting when some people can't do that because again, let's say you working and you can't get off work to go to curriculum night. You can email the teacher and ask her to send you a copy of the curriculum for that year and take the time.
Hold on, not to cut you off. I want to ask you about this whole curriculum is because I got a separate thought process about school in general, as far as the curriculum, what we learning, what they teaching. I got my mind going somewhere else with that anyway.
Gotcha.
But just to cut off,
we probably on the same page with that.
Yeah. Just to cut off because I just keep stressing this. I want to see people wake up. I want to see men of the community wake up. They're coming for your kids, bro. They're making it clear. They're putting it on Front Street. They ain't hiding it no more. They slowly reeling it in. Slowly getting you numb to it to the point where you just accept the shit. Like, they just had a fucking senator, I forget where he was from.
Yeah, the Republican.
Dude just voted against the bill to make it illegal for adults to marry minors. Matter of fact, I think we got the clip.
Age 12, yeah.
If you haven't seen it.
I've heard you talk about parents' rights to raise their kids how they want. In fact, I just double checked. You voted no on making it illegal for kids to be married to adults at the age of 12, if their parents consented to it. You said actually that should be the law because it's the parents' right and the kid's right to decide what's best for them to be raped by an adult. Okay?
Do you know any kids who have been
with
married
marriage
at age 12?
That was the law. You voted not to change it.
Do you know any kids who have been married at age 12?
I don't need to.
I do. And guess what? They're still married.
Gentlemen,
Disgusting.
Wow.
Fucking disgusting. And these are the type of people they got in fucking power making laws over your kids, because let's just keep
people
it
voted
real.
that guy in. He's in that position because people in his community voted
Or
him in.
lack of voting too.
Listen,
Either way,
listen,
he's in from people voting.
Let's just say they voted
He's
him
on the
in.
ballot. Somebody picked him.
Let's just say they voted him in, but they didn't know he had them views.
Get him
now
out of
that
there.
we know he got them views,
You can get him out of there.
let's get him out of there, and let's get him out of there fast. Let's not wait
Ain't no
for
way they didn't
another
know he
vote.
ain't been had those views.
I'm
Ain't
just
no way.
saying, the average person probably didn't know. The average person ain't paying that close attention to politics to know about,
No.
oh, damn, does he know? No, we didn't really know that. But the fact that he boldly stated that and doubled down on it,
Right. So
letting
if he
you
gets
know,
voted
hey,
in again, and they let you know those
I'm
people in
in
that community, they are
listen,
with it too.
I'm in
Yo.
power, I'm voting these laws in, and I don't see nothing wrong with a guy my age fucking your 12-year-old daughter
And marrying him.
and marrying her. And where's the fucking outrage? Where's the outrage? It's your constitutional right to get anyone out of office that we feel isn't representing us as a people. But we all sitting back like we just hopeless, like,
But
oh my
That
God.
was Missouri, I think. It said Missouri.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
I don't give a fuck if
So-
it was Mars.
No, but I'm just saying those people have to make. Those are the people that's gonna have to
Motherfuckers need to
change
go
it.
up there and get cracking.
They
period.
wouldn't be able to say nothing like that in like a Georgia or probably
Nah,
even in
but-
California. That's Missouri.
But
go
this
ahead.
is why I
Sorry.
like this is why I do this approach with masculinity and shit. You know, I go by Slauson and I'm an antagonist like that because it was a time where, you know, the last time Christ spoke to men was with the Mormons. It was like 1868 or something. And then it was in Philly. The brothers was like, yo, God came to us, spoke to us. He said we could have multiple wives. I love how the white Christians handled it. They didn't go there and was like make government and like break laws and stuff. They was like, bruh, hell no, we ain't going for that. What the fuck you talking about? God didn't speak to y'all. And they was like, yes, he did. Then they moved from New York to Philly. Then them Christians followed them niggas to Philly and was like, bruh, we ain't going for that. Then them brothers who came up with the Book of Mormon went from Philly to Utah. And then it was found dead.
That's what listen, bro.
Man.
I'm not inciting violence.
They wasn't going for that. They
I'm not
wasn't
inciting
going for that.
violence. Matter of fact, I ain't even gonna say I ain't inciting violence because let's keep it realistic.
They wasn't going
in human
for it.
history, the only way real change has been made has been some form of violence that paved the way.
Yeah.
I don't see nobody willing to go to that
There's not
degree.
no land that we live on
about
that's
the
not
kids, bro.
governed by violence. Every place that we
Every place.
is by bloodshed.
The laws were even put in place because some type of violence was incited on that land for them to even have authority to put that law in place, and then they use violence to enforce the law.
Yep.
So it's like, hold on, you coming for the kids. I don't see no men willing to like, listen, we going wherever with this. What's up? We ain't going for that. If we got to go to the highest degree, it is what it is. What's the deal?
Man.
This the line, you on that side, is up.
Man, but we got brothers like that. Like you remember that like real good pimp movie they did back in the 70s?
Iceberg Slam.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. The Panthers told the nigga like the pimp that it was after. The Panthers said, "Yo, you ain't filming that over here." He was like, "Nah, fuck y'all. What y'all talking about? I'm gonna do what I want." And then, you know, shot in his head in his car. They said, "You ain't filming that over there." That's what them brothers said.
Yeah,
So
but
like
that unity is kind of gone though nowadays with the division amongst us. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like that no more.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah.
'Cause this ain't
Amen.
even a race. This is a people thing. Fuck the black and white. Fuck the black Hispanic. I'm talking about a people thing. Like, bro, they're coming for all your kids.
Protect our innocence.
What
yeah.
are we gonna do about it? We gonna sit back and cry, or we finna start making some moves? Like, what's up?
But that's because that's ultimately the energy that I hope to incite when it's fatherhood the best hood. If we could gangbang, then we should be able to have the same energy for our kids.
Right.
And
Y'all-
we handle justice when we handle. It's only three ways to handle justice. It's either you pay me, you go to jail and prison, or you my slave, or you die. And till justice is served, I'm on your ass.
Listen, these people only respect money and violence. They got all the money. They got all the money. So I mean, like what's I don't know. I got a whole different thought process when it comes to that. All this talking and preaching and man, fuck all that. We passed that. They made they move on the chessboard. They put the rook there and say, yeah, this is what it is. What's up? And we just you know, maybe it'll pass. Maybe we could vote it out. How the fuck can you vote out something like that when they're running the system and they put it in? You can't vote it out. They're putting it in. He's on the, like, come on, bro. We got to wake up. Like, we got to wake up.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to the men out there. This ain't on the women. The women at home with the kids doing what they supposed to do. It's on us to get out there in the field and make the changes.
Yeah.
Look at history. Anytime you get a group of fucking masculine disgruntled men, change happens swiftly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's on our generation, bro. It's on us.
Wait, breaking news. Viral going hard on the men, not the women this time.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
men. Y'all hear that?
You
Going
niggas,
hard on
niggas
y'all.
out
Step
there
that
acting
shit
like
up.
bitches, man. Y'all
Come
gotta
on,
step
man.
up, man. Stop. We begging these motherfuckers. Please stop telling my kid about sucking dick. What type of shit y'all on, bro? Let's walk into school and take the books out. What, they gonna take us all to jail? Come on, man. Stop playing.
Violence is what keep men civil.
Yep.
That's
Period.
That's why
That
we
fear.
don't have no options with women. So when our women start acting wild, we don't got nothing to do. Shit. If she push you to that last limit, it's like, look, you won. I ain't got violence is my only next step. You
That's
done
it.
won. And you know,
And-
only thing I can do is leave.
That's why they're attacking masculinity the way they're attacking it, even labeling it toxic, because they know masculinity is the only defense we got.
Yeah.
We can't defend shit with feminine. Ain't no women
We
armies.
can't argue. Yeah, we can't
Ain't no
argue.
women police force. It's masculine men in the motherfuckers. And they know that. This is why they're trying to make all your sons feminine little bitches. Every time I look up on the TV, they showing D Wade with his fucking, like, come on, man.
All that.
This shit crazy, man.
All right. Can I ask you this?
I'm fed up with this shit.
If feminine represented chaos and then masculine represented
Peace.
structure
Yeah.
and rules, and then you got, what is it? No, masculine represent order. So if feminine represent chaos, masculine represent order, and together, like, what is that? Like the yin and the yang in the middle was harmony. Would you feel some type of way if feminine energy represented chaos? A lack of rules, but it's creative, and that's where all things are formed. And then it needs the masculine energy to bring rules and structure to
form
it.
Will I feel some kind of way?
Yeah, because I'll be having this conversation with women, and then they be feeling some type of way that I'll be like, feminine energy is chaos, and to masculine energy brings structure and rules to it. Like a newborn baby.
I don't
That's
think I would
chaos.
feel no kind of way, but I don't necessarily think that feminine energy brings chaos. I think feminine energy definitely can bring chaos, but sometimes feminine energy can bring structure as well, and masculine energy can be
Look.
bring chaos. I think
Hold
it's a
on,
mix.
hold on.
I think it'd be
Look,
a mix.
I hear y'all.
But working together, I think it can be. I think that's what it is meant to be, and I think that's what it's supposed to be. The man and woman working together.
Okay.
To
Hold on,
raise
hold on,
and
hold
have
on.
harmony.
Look.
Yes. But I think the sides can be swapped depending on the situation or the individual.
Look, hold on,
So I think
look,
that's
look.
why people be trying to get
Hold
offended.
on, I hear y'all. Today ain't the day for that, though. I don't want to do. Today ain't the day for that. We could come back battle sex for that. Listen, Dalai Lama, you sick fuck.
Hey,
Somebody slap. Where's the gun cop? Somebody chop the gun on this motherfucker.
There you go.
All you motherfuckers in the audience that watch that, y'all all need y'all ass beat. We call it a DP out here. All y'all need to be DP. Somebody should have slapped the fuck out
Who's
that
that boy?
sick fuck.
Who was that boy's father? If he has
Facts.
one, or uncle, or something.
I'm not going for none of that. Fuck all that. But
Probably
yeah,
getting paid under the table.
Man, but
let's
so
move along from
pimping,
that.
That's
'cause
pimping. Then.
That shit making me a little heated.
Probably getting paid under the table.
Now, as far as parenting, as far as school go, I'm noticing a big change in kids where they're starting to clock out of school at earlier ages. In our generation, it was like towards the end of middle school, high school. That's when you started getting the dropouts. These kids are saying fuck school in elementary. Like, fuck school. Like, I literally had my kids tell me, like, most of the shit we learning, I know we ain't gonna use. Like, why we gotta learn this? Why we gotta do this homework? And it's like, damn, what do you tell them? Because if you know the real origin of where the education system came from and how it was formed to what it is today, it's kind of hard knowing, like, damn, I'm sending my kid to be programmed, and I know I am. I know me sending
You
them.
just got to teach more at home.
Yeah.
That's it.
What's more
Which
important?
brings the balance. Because I always say this, because to your point, yes, they're going to learn things that they don't need in real life. Yes, that's just like in college. We all, if you've ever been to college, you take those general education classes. They're just gen classes. Most of them have nothing to do with your major, and you may not even use them. But the reality is it does prepare them a little bit to the real world. And I say that because we all work jobs where maybe you've been more intelligent and have more knowledge than your manager or your supervisor, whoever, but you had to do whatever was told to do until you worked your way up, or vice versa. Or maybe you worked the job and you knew there was a faster, swifter way to get the job done, more efficient process,
yeah.
but you just was like, well, this is the way they doing it. And if you try to keep throwing your opinion in the hat, they're kind of ignoring you, like, you're just a new guy, or you're just the lower or the bottom of the totem pole, so they don't take you as seriously. So it's like, that's just a part of life. At some point, you will figure out where you could be best used at and go from there. But to be like, oh, well, yeah, you ain't gonna have to do it or use it in the future, so don't worry about it now. I think that's That's unrealistic because in the world we do plenty of things that we don't need or don't use. Just like math. I mean, we use basic math day to day, but none of us ain't in here trying to
Calculus,
calculate the algebra, kind of trying to find the N or the X or the T or graphs,
XY
geometry.
coordinate,
Like we
XY
ain't doing no graphs in real life. But I mean, unless you may be like an engineer, but it's like you just do it and get by. Sometimes every now and again you may find something that you need.
Yeah.
Look, I was looking for my notes. Let me just give a small background, and then I want to get everybody's opinion on it. Okay, as far as the school system we got today, in the 20th century, early 20th century, John D. Rockefeller basically, he created this pretty much. I ain't gonna say him specifically, but probably him and a few other elites. They created the General Education Board in 1902 at the cost of $129 million and provided major funding for schools across the country. They basically directly shaped the school system that we got now. The goal, simple. Produce a nation of compliant workers rather than a nation of thinkers. If you look this up, you can find plenty of quotes. They wanted workers, not thinkers. So they're getting rich being thinkers, but they want you and your kids to be workers. They want society to be workers. They don't want a society full of thinkers. So basically, the school system is designed to create docile and punctual workers, because back then it was like factory workers in the Industrial Revolution and shit. This is even why you have uniforms, why you have school bells, because they want to get that programming in you. Like, oh, bell went off, okay, break.
Yep.
So when you go to work, okay, bell go off, break. Like, it's literally programming you to be a worker. It has nothing to do with literally educating you. Because I was doing my little research on this exact topic, and they were saying back in the days before this whole shit was concocted, they was only going to school like once a week, which is why they call it Sunday school. They would go to school once a week because they figured once a week was enough, a couple hours in that day to learn basically what you need. Reading, writing, basic math, you know what I'm saying? Learn how to, basic life skills. Monday through Saturday, they was working. Everybody had their own businesses, farms, all type of shit. Everybody was self-sufficient. They didn't want that. So now that we know this, it's like, damn, I'm sending my kid basically to go get programmed. And it's like, how do we battle that? We could all say teach them more at home, but let's be real, they got us at work just as much as we got the kids at school. By the time you get off work, you ain't trying to teach a damn thing. You trying to unwind from the drama at work.
Well,
so it's like
you
can
make it
find a
fun.
balance.
Yeah, but you gotta make it
find a
fun though,
balance,
CG. Like, so I know I've seen you take your kids to the gym. That's physical fitness. That can be an avenue for you teaching them to be personal trainers on the side, a new exercise, whatever the case may be. It's different things you can do. It don't necessarily have to just be school. It can be other things that's educational and just put your own twist to it.
Yep.
You
That
get what I'm
money
saying?
in the car, on the car ride over, teaching that money, teaching them about value. Like,
So,
just, to
Funny
your
thing,
point,
you already know, my truck break down all the time at work. Nigga, I learn so much when the mechanic be charged. Like, I know I be joking and shit, but I be learning just certain shit. So certain things, I open up the hood of my car and I show my son, hey, look, that's a reservoir. That's what holds the fluids. It's things like that. You just got to kind of put your twist onto it. What's going to be useful for our children.
And it do have to be a balance because the reality is that everybody can't be bosses. Everybody can't be CEOs. Somebody has to work. So, yes, I do agree
That's a
that
fact.
you do have to think a little bit more like a thinker. But, and at the end of the day, every kid ain't thinkers. Let's be honest. Let's just break it down, call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
Some of our kids are workers and they need to be workers and they're going to be workers because
They need
that's
to
what
be
it
told
is.
what to do.
Exactly.
They
And
need to be
and
told.
some of and these kids these days are lacking critical thinking.
Man.
They're lacking how to overcome
And
any type of
imaginary.
adversity, right? Can't think out the box, no common sense. I mean, the list can go on. Me and my friends, we talk about kids all the time. Even
No,
our kids, we
facts.
be like, Lord, help our future.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I think just to his point, you just have to kind of get out of the box. And unfortunately, we tired, but we
You
do
gotta
have a
make
little
that
bit more
time,
freedom
yeah.
than what our parents had from working and traveling 2 and 3 hours. Like we have that. Like you said, you don't want to be inconvenienced. You want to be 10, 15, 20 minutes to get to your kids. Like we have a lot more freedom now that I feel like we absolutely should be teaching a lot more to our kids day in and out and make it fun. It don't
And,
have to be so strategic. Like you eating dinner. All right, how was your day? Cool.
Yeah.
Now what about how's this day gonna change tomorrow? Like
Yeah.
however you can
Small.
split.
Okay, let me
split it
ask
up.
you this. That's cool for the free thinkers and the people who found a way to break outside the quote unquote matrix and educate themselves. But realistically, majority of society is programmed from this system because they did a study like, damn, how long would it take to program the average person to where they be programmed for life? And they came up with 12 years, which is why we in school for 12 years. If they drill this in you for 12 years, 90% of the population, 95, is going to be stuck for life, subconsciously without you even knowing. So how does How do we break out of that? Because it's a small portion of
think half the people
society
lose that, though.
knows what you say. that they can
Well-
teach what you're saying. Most people believe in the
Right.
system wholeheartedly.
Right, no, but I'm
So,
just
but
saying,
this
think
is the
about it.
thing.
When you graduate 2-3 years after graduating, you be like,
Oh,
where
yeah.
I learned
I
this
know what I'm
from?
saying. Just think about it, bro. They got the black community in shambles because women are saying we don't need men based off degrees in the system they created to basically make you a slave.
We
Right.
need
So how are
men.
we teaching our
need each
kids
other, for
how
sure.
to not be slaves when we're fighting each other to be slaves?
Well, our kids is gonna be the most. So it's citizenship. They're going to school for citizenship, so that we as a society decided that this is the way that we gonna civilize them to the world. And then kids learn in osmosis. All of us learn the best in osmosis. And then what they gonna grow up to be the most likely is either their friends or their parents. So it's
Yeah.
what we do. So if I
Our
drive
circle.
trucks, my son most likely can pick a career in truck driving because that's what I know. That's what I give him back. If I go to school for education, we a family of educators, then he most likely, if he has to go fall on his default, would be the career that I've chose. Now, if he breaks away from the family's job, like I mean, remember when we all grew up, I grew up from a single mom and whatever. All of us became security guards because my mama was a security guard. That's like the first shit that we did as soon as we got older. It's like, yo, we gonna be security guards.
Securitize.
For real, for real. Like it's a book on it called Freakonomics. It tells you like, yo,
Yeah.
your kids grow up to be
Yeah.
more of what you do.
What you are,
What
yeah,
you
yeah.
expose them to.
Yeah, yeah. It's who you are, not what you tell them.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
So
we all
like
know that.
like with the black community, I think we got a good opportunity because as long as we could fund our own joints, we a lost group in America. Like we could really fund our own groups. If we could have our kids go somewhere on Saturday, go somewhere after school, we could civilize them the way we want to. But I think we get caught up in what music and society bring us. They put millions of dollars to market us some bullshit, and then we just go straight into all the lifestyles
And
that
social
got
media
us
and
caught
trying to
up.
keep up with the
You
Joneses
Oh,
feel
I'm
me?
and all
glad
of
you
that.
just said
I
that
ain't
because
wanna
I
say it.
feel
All
I ain't
of
want to
that.
say it.
I
All
feel
of that.
that is the biggest one, probably the biggest issue with parenting is social media. So I want to
Screen
go
time.
around the room. How are you guys battling not letting social media ruin your kids? Because right now, social media is literally ruining kids. It's killing their fucking drive,
Yeah.
their imagination. Kids don't even want to go
Social
outside.
skills.
Going outside, social
Social
skills. Kids don't know how to talk.
Yep.
You gotta. Hey, have you talked to your friends today? You know what I'm saying?
No, they prepping
Go
them for the
outside and go hang with
metaverse.
your friends. Ain't nobody outside. They all texting. Literally, you will have a group of kids in the same room and everybody like
yeah,
this.
yep. Not even talking.
It's like Return of the Zombies, bro. It's like these
and
kids.
say shit. Oh, I'm bored. But they all have each other. You know what I'm saying? They're all sitting there, but they're bored. I remember it was about 3 or 4 of us. I could be with me and my 2 cousins. We got our bikes, or we go outside throw up tackle, or something. Like we had imagination.
We taking mattresses outside,
Man,
flipping,
all
we're doing
that
whatever,
stuff,
bro.
Doing everything. Like these kids have no social life. They have no social skills. They have nothing. They're going off validation off of social media.
I think that goes back to the parents though a little bit. And trust me, I'm not bashing the parents, but I think it goes back to the parents. I think it really comes down to like what you allow. So like for
Screen
me,
time.
I was a
That's
little bit
screen
more.
time.
I was a little bit more traditional in the sense when I was raising my daughter. So for everything that she like got to do, I had age limits on certain things. So I made her wait to certain ages to be able to do things. So for instance, my daughter didn't get a cell phone until she was 13.
Okay.
She hated it. She complained. She talked about all the kids. She grew up in a predominantly white area, affluent area where they came
Had
from money
money.
and had money. So she's always say, I remember one time she came home
felt
at like
a black
8
broke girl.
8 years old. And she was like, oh, my friend at school, she had, not girlfriend, my friend at school, she has a cell phone. Then we at 9, she was like, Mom, 3 more of my friends have something. I was like, listen, I don't care what them parents allow to do in their house. In our house, you're not doing it. You're always with me. And when you're not with me, you're with your dad. With that being said, we both have cell phones. So if you need to use a phone, you can use our phone, but you don't need your own phone. Not to mention, I'm like super fiscal when it comes to money. I'm like, I'm not going to waste paying a phone bill just for you to say you have a cell phone. For what? So she didn't get a cell phone to 13. I didn't allow my daughter to get social media till she was 16. Did not play that. I didn't care who else had. Again, like I was just very
I love
like
it.
traditional in the sense where like, I don't care. I didn't fall to say like,
Victim
oh,
of
the
what,
other parents,
yeah.
like what other parents is
What
doing
year
now, I
was
need to
this?
get it up. My daughter's 20, so 4
No,
years
I'm
ago.
saying, well, what year was all that? Like you said, she was 13. Like,
Oh, so
what?
she was 16. What is this? 2020. She was 16 in 2019, so during COVID, and she was 2016. She was 13. 2016.
2016.
So not
Yes.
long ago. But I just think for me it's like, but I see it now because I have friends now and they have younger kids and stuff like that, and their kids have cell phone stuff, like, and that's what they allow. So I'm like, to each his own. But for me, it's like, unless you can show me a valid point and reason why you need that, you're not gonna have that. So for me, it's like, you have idle time after you've done homework, cool. Let's do a book report. Let's go get this book. Let's go do this. Oh, let's write things. Let's research stuff. Matter of fact, what you want to do? And like, you think this what you want to do? Cool. Let's research it together. Let's like, I was invested in spending a lot more time and stop putting my kid off to like watch TV or electronics. Just like TV. Like my daughter never got to watch TV during the week. Her whole life, kindergarten all the way through 12th grade, she only can watch TV Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Some dope shit.
So if she had,
She came up
so
with
literally
all the
like
rules and structures.
I'm telling you, that's why I said it sometimes. But the femininity, because it's like, okay, so she didn't.
Or
So
you
she
haven't
because
met
she
the
couldn't
right
do that. She never.
masculinity to bring the femininity in you.
Look,
know?
bro, still trying to go
Hey,
crazy.
no,
Listen,
no, but
I say that to say no.
I'ma bring you
so
in
I
about
say
it
that to
sex,
say on
bro.
the
I
end,
got you.
I didn't let her do that. So to now to that point, like now my kid is 20, and to this even now that she's out of my house, she does not watch TV during the week. She doesn't feel like she's missing anything. And she's so used to, even before Netflix, she's so used to like binging stuff because she could only watch it on Friday and Saturday. And guess what? If she got in trouble, I wasn't with all that hitting and I mean, she got a couple whoopings, but I never was big on whipping your kid like that. Like I feel like I got whipping for no reason, so I didn't do it to my kid.
I feel like
but
if you
I would
can't
take her TV time from her.
hit your girl, you shouldn't be able to hit your kid because the kid is more vulnerable than your girl.
Hold
yeah,
on.
but I mean,
spare the
I hit,
rod, spoil the child.
but I
bro.
didn't hit like
Listen,
that. I didn't hit like
listen,
that. I feel like
this
there was
is-
other ways to discipline your child.
I mean,
than
that's
putting
hold
it
on,
in.
hold on. But you're a woman,
that's
so
just
that's
not-
Can I
different.
tell you something?
It's
though?
different.
That right there, that's cool. But ass whoopings is necessary
I
in
agree.
certain
I
households
agree.
and certain children. I don't feel like every child needs a ass
Right.
whooping, but certain acts that a child does
Absolutely.
deserves an ass
But
whooping.
too many of those ass whoopings
You probably
defeats the
deserve.
purpose, and then your kid is not learning what you want them to learn because now they just assume like, oh, I
Every
did something
time I
bad,
do
I'm gonna get my
something-
ass beat. So
Listen,
now
yin,
I'm just gonna do whatever.
Yin and yang. Whoop their ass, and now I'm about to explain to you why you just got your ass
Yeah.
whooped. I ain't gonna just do like our
agree.
parents, whoop your ass and go in the room.
Right.
I'm gonna sit you down.
Right.
Yeah.
Listen,
I agree.
blah, 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 XYZ.
I agree.
So it can register
Yeah.
in your brain.
And anytime I will say this, the few whoopings that my daughter did get in her life, anytime I whooped her, she never did that thing again. She would do something else and get a whoop, but it wouldn't be the same thing
Same
ever
thing.
again.
That talking shit, it only goes so far.
But you
yes.
gotta
It only
mentally,
goes so
but,
far.
but just like I said with the TV, so like that was a good thing for me because if you didn't watch TV during the week and you want to see a show and now
You're
you
gonna
done got in
behave.
trouble, don't worry, stay in trouble because now you ain't got no TV time on Friday.
But I
look,
understand that.
this
But
generation-
now you ain't got no TV
go
on
ahead.
Saturday.
no, but say again, that's cool for your daughter. But again, not all these kids are doing that.
Oh God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You only have one child. So you only have to deal with one child. You can have
Yeah.
a good child. You can have a child that's
That's
in
true.
between. You get what I'm saying? So you got to realize certain kids, one kid, you may have a great kid. One kid may just give you hell. Just they talk back and all
Yeah.
this. So you may got to go harder on another child.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
you,
high
you
school
lucky
was
you have
rough.
a daughter. 'Cause
High
you may,
school was rough.
But listen, you may have a son who may be smelling this shit and have a little girlfriend. Like, Mom, I'm staying outside. I don't care what you go do because your whoopings are not going to hurt him because it's a nigga his age that
Right.
hit harder than you.
Right.
So like you just happen to have a blessed daughter. And I'm
But
just,
I also think a lot of that too, honestly, starts from like here. So, like for instance, so like my parents, and just a
Early
little
on.
background, my parents were both in the military, so I was raised in military bred. So,
So, yeah,
I'm very
very
used
structured.
to structure in some regards, not all regards, but some regards. So for me, it's like I've talked to enough people that were parents before me. So when my daughter got like 3, 4, and was started going to like school consecutively, I started implementing those rules early on. So it wasn't nothing that I waited until she became out of control at 12, 13, 14, talking like, then I'm like, now I'm starting to implement these. No, she knew early on, like the no TV. She knew early on, you get out of line, you got to write me sentences over and over, 100 of them. Oh, one of them stop me, tearing up the paper, start over. Like I started that early on. So it was like, she didn't really have an opportunity to kind of get too far left because that's all she knew.
Yeah.
But I think for a lot of people, when I hear people talk about their kids and I look at them, it's like, oh, your kid's 6, 7, 8, 9, they talking back, you just laughing it off.
You're a
oh,
rare
you got them
exception.
on the phone and
She's
shit.
a
Oh,
rare
you got them on the phone.
exception.
Oh, you
But you
sitting at
can't
a
Who invited
military
somebody
background,
good
right?
baby
But
mama
listen,
up here,
yeah,
man?
you're
I
a
wanna
rare
know.
exception.
But think about it. You
you?
sitting at a dinner table, but you sitting at a dinner table and your kid on their gadgets. Like my daughter
Yeah.
could never be on her gadget at a dinner
I
table.
agree.
We're at a dinner. You
so
need to
you're
sit and
a
talk.
rare, but what I'm saying is
But
you're
people don't.
that's
but
rare.
people
you're
don't
a
want to
rare.
invest the
But
time.
listen, you're
That's
a rare
rare.
occasion from a mom. A lot of moms are not what you're not doing what you're doing.
Or not a disciplinarian.
Yeah, exactly. Most of the time,
Yeah.
that's us dads doing that, and I
Facts.
can speak for that for myself. Again, as a father, we're already trained to be. Oh, don't let me tell your daddy. So it's kind of like you're already kind of throwing that disciplinary off on me. So it's kind of like he can kind of get away with it with mom. 'Cause-
Masculine energy.
Yeah,
Very
you
much
did.
so.
No, kids definitely need that. Kids
No, for
definitely
real.
need that.
No,
'Cause
they're-
look, like he
I'm
said,
trying to
I
make
get it.
daddies
He's
right.
important in this
the
motherfucker.
average mom is like, if the kid poke enough, she
Yeah.
gonna give in.
Mhm.
Whereas a man is like, but we don't care about none of that.
None of that
Like
shit.
you
That
doing
dog
what
is.
I say, and that's it.
That's
There
it,
ain't no
right.
giving. You,
So
I'll be
puppy
hungry.
eyes, don't,
Cry,
none of
yeah,
that shit
none of that
work. None of
shit
that shit
work.
work.
I agree.
I can say, no, listen, my son can be like,
It's a fact.
Dad, can I do this and that? Then you just get a call Thursday saying you was acting up in school.
Right.
Yeah, but it's Friday and I I don't give a fuck.
Right.
That's a
You should have
fact.
kept that same energy on Thursday today. So no, we sitting in the house. I'm saving money.
Right.
Go and read that book.
Right. Facts.
And
And give me a summary
Exactly.
when you finish.
Look, I'm gonna be the devil's advocate though, because a lot of times as parents, we forget how it feels to be a kid. I try to always put myself in my kid's shoes
Me
when
too.
I was a kid, how I feel. So
Mhm.
even though you're saying,
Me
okay, she
too.
couldn't have a phone, this and that, we're in the age of technology. So realistically, if your kid don't have a phone, they probably the only fucking kid at school without a phone. And that can cause
she
other
was.
issues of being outcasted, bullying, teasing, like, oh, yo, you ain't got a phone, y'all broke, y'all. So it's like, how do you meet that median?
Man.
Nah,
You know
I
what
feel
I'm
like
saying?
you gotta own that.
How do you meet that median?
I feel like parents give their kids electronics because they don't want to be bothered. The electronics is gonna make that kid
It's
get
a
out your
babysitter?
space. Exactly.
Most parents
and make
do.
your kid
Yes.
get the hell on.
A
So
lot-
you
a lot of
like,
parents
I'm
do.
gonna spend $300 on this iPad for this 2-year-old because I don't want them to bother me and I want them to sit down. Like
Two
it's-
is crazy. Two is
I'm telling you,
Well,
think about
I know 2-year-old that can work, 3-year-old that can work the phone better than
Yeah.
you.
I'm telling you.
Download
Work,
it.
she
I
ain't
got
know how to
a
work
custom
TikTok.
Right.
I know a 7-year-old. He can.
Right.
So I'm on.
Be on all them apps and everything, doing filters and everything. It's like, come on. But then they don't know the ABCs
But-
or can't read a book. Like,
Facts.
come on.
But what you were saying about damn, the question was how do we? What was the question you just said?
The question is, how do we meet that median, like in the
With
middle?
social media.
To where, okay, cool. I know you got to be a kid, and I know you still got to fit in, and this is the world we living in now, and I don't want you to succumb to what I know the ills of this is. I know where this is headed: the depression, the suicide, you know what I'm saying, everything that come with social media.
I felt like it's kind of like you got it's an equal balance. But sometimes as parents, we got to sacrifice our fun and our outgoingness for our children. So
Exactly. They
sometimes
don't want to.
you love to travel. I love to travel. I love to do things. Some things we got to do is, all right, you can bring your cell phone out. Let's all take a trip to the San Diego Zoo. Let's do the safari thing. Now we can post, hey, look, we see a lion. We learned about lions. Let's have that balance of education and social media. We got to kind of make it more fun. So we know what it's like being kids. Let's try to have fun with our children. And, you know what I'm saying, have that perfect balance of education, social media, something new, exposing them out the neighborhood and stuff like that. Because the thing about it is, I want my kids to have a humbling beginning without going through the trials and tribulations I have. So
Right.
what do I need to do? Humble them. Yeah, you can have the cell phone, but you can't be on it during the week. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? So let's start having compromises where, okay, you know what? We'll let you watch TV. But instead of not watching it during the week, maybe you get 30 minutes after you get done with your homework. Then after that 30 minutes, you got to take a bath, read a book, and go to sleep. You know,
Right.
maybe let's start compromising with the kids.
And and also to that point where you said with the whole with the cell phone part, like I had a guy friend that used to work with me, and he used to tell his daughter, which I remember we used to joke about at work, but he was so true. He used to be like, "You can't take no selfies." Like, and then so back then we used to always go back and forth. We used to be laughing. I'd be like, "Well, my daughter don't have it at this time. She can't even get social media since she's 16." He was like, "Nah," because I look at it, and this is actually a white guy. He's really cool, and he's always been like, "No," because now you're teaching your kid to be over sexualized, and I think about it now because I look at a lot of the young kids,
damn.
and all the
Ooh,
pictures
that's a
they post all
bar.
the time is like, look at me, 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 look at me. It's like you have nothing else to post on this media that you want these likes besides your face, your face, your face, your face, your body. And so it's like, what are you now teaching them that you have to be perfect, you have to be this, you have to be that. So
that is a
to that
bar.
point, it's like you give your kids these phones, you give your kids social media at 6 and 7. It's like, but are you even monitoring it? Are you even making sure
Yes.
that they're
Are you
appropriate?
checking their phone?
Are you in their
Yep.
phone checking the
The
messages, checking
deleted,
the
no,
Snapchat?
the deleted pictures, the deleted
And I
text.
tell my daughter, listen, if you delete anything, AT&T would send me an alert. And if I get an alert, your phone getting shut off for the month. Like, I you know, I ain't even do it. But whatever I got to say to make sure you know, leave that information in there because I'm going to go snooping when you go to bed. Put that information on
this is
there.
my only thing, and I want to hear from you too. That fine line of being a disciplinarian and being over the top to where
Yeah.
you create a monster. Because let's be real, we all were kids. We're going to find a way.
Right.
Parents tell us no. Parents do
Right.
whatever they want. Your kid is going to find a way, bro, with this technology. They know how to
Facts.
hack shit. You can put the parental controls on. Them apps is still getting on the phone.
Yeah, YouTube is
Trust
how
me.
to how to
they
break
still
my
getting on these
parent.
phones.
Yeah.
And it's shit. Like you said, checking the phone. Because when my kids was young, they had a phone. I used to, limit the screen time. Okay, you can only play these little kiddie games and shit.
Mhm.
They was putting shit on the kid games. Like, it was porn ads on the kid game.
Crazy.
If you never looked in the phone, I just randomly looked in the phone one day, like, what the fuck is this? It was like the video game porn, though. Like, full-blown porn, like the video game shit on a kid game, though. So it's like, damn, they sneaking this shit.
Ads in on.
That's what I'm
stuff.
saying. So it's like,
Yeah.
damn, it's kind of fucked up. You want them to, damn, I want you to fit in. I want you to be,
It's like that on YouTube.
you know what I'm
too.
saying?
Yeah.
But I know this is like, this thing is evil, bro. This, literally, just look at the symbolism of it. It's a bitten apple.
Book of
Who
Genesis.
the one that bit that apple?
That's
Come
Adam
on,
and
bro.
Eve.
It's
man.
on the phone, bro.
Damn.
It's
But you
in
need
your
a balance
face.
too because you're saying you want the
Hey,
kid to
that's
fit
the
in,
clip
but
right there.
if the
That's the
kid's
clip.
trying to fit in
Like
too much,
this is the
then
forbidden
what?
fruit.
Yeah.
This is fucking
Hey,
up
he went
humanity.
biblical on that one.
Yeah, that was. A
I'm
good
just
one.
saying, no cap. Like, look what it's doing to adults.
Yeah.
We
But
gotta-
but adults, man, not like that, bro. I'm not like that. Fuck the adults. They know right from wrong at this point, homie.
Right.
That's right from wrong. We back on these children, homie.
Right.
We as parents, we can help kind of manipulate and kind of mold what we kind of want our children to be. Yeah, we're not perfect, but we can try to at least put them in the right direction and try to roll the ball that way into that way as far as, you know, doing well in life, try to be successful. Whatever we can do, man, we all try to help each other. And I know as a father, I try to surround myself by other black fathers I know that's active in their kids' life. It's been times where I'm like, my kid ain't got nothing to do. I text them, hey, what y'all got plans? You know what I'm saying? Wooty wooey. Can we link up with y'all? Just to keep my kid active around
Right.
positive. Because
No, I
I
agree.
don't mind. We all
Me
know
too.
is where we
Me
get in
too.
trouble.
That's why I always said I'm never a fan of idle all the time. And people
Yeah.
be like, why? I'm like, cause it's
Keep them
dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Like I said, my
Keep
daughter
them
did stuff
busy.
all year round for that exact reason, like multiple
Yes,
activities. Because I
yep.
said, and that's what ended up happening. Like it was like she was always busy, and then when COVID happened, you had to sit in the house. She's an only child. A lot of things started coming out, and I'm like, dang, I never really realized it because she was never idle. But then when she became idle, it's like we started facing all these other
Oh my
all these other
God.
trials and tribulations. And I'm like, dang, like. That was kind of like the downfall to me when it came to like COVID, is the
COVID,
effects
yeah.
it had on my daughter being an only child
That's
and having to be in the house
facts.
every day and not being able to be as social as she used to be.
So I'll be devil's advocate. Like you know, me being a certified baby mama and having custody of my daughter, and when I had to go through being a single dad and whatever, being left with a baby while somebody is trying to go out there and live their life, I was way too depressed to be active.
How old was your daughter? When
My
you got
daughter
full
was
custody?
1.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
so-
were
Yeah, like
you
she
were
was
Mr.
small.
Mom
She-
for real.
Yeah, like she was still in diapers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So like I was so depressed that, you know, I couldn't even leave the bed for three weeks. You feel me? I thought I was a nigga and got my ass left right up in it. You feel me? You know, and it'd be them post office jobs, man.
He
Them
was in his
bitches get
feminine
them
energy.
post office
Come on,
jobs.
gang. Hey, come on, stand
Working
up, gang.
overtime. You
Get
feel
back
me?
in your masculine, nigga. Stand up.
Nah.
Fuck wrong with you?
Nah, so but like the phone and then working with my daughter, like being so busy, it's just a way to just numb the time and let things go by. Like, so she had a tablet. She was always in her phone. She always was having screen time. But it was really because I wasn't mentally healthy enough to be a parent. And I think I could recognize that because I'm a man. So, like, we don't get the same pity as single fathers as single mothers do.
Man, we don't get the chance
least
to be
you're honest.
careless. We don't
Listen.
get a chance to have that vulnerable moment, bro. We
Nah.
gotta be tough.
Listen, fuck the
Nah.
pity. We don't need pity, bro. Fuck pity.
We don't get time.
Pity ain't getting you nowhere.
Yeah.
The only reason, well, I ain't gonna say the only reason. I see a correlation between the rise of depression and suicide in kids and the fucking. I'm tongue tied like a motherfucker. The invention of social media. Tell them like maybe 10. Social media came into play. Depression and suicide went up in kids. Then COVID hit. It was just like the perfect fucking storm where you got all these kids in elementary school killing themselves.
Yeah.
And it's just like I just think we need to figure out. We need to figure out a median how to eliminate that shit. Like you said, no idle time. Get them more in sports.
Yeah,
Link
create
up with other
purposes.
parents.
Yeah, create a purpose, bro. Let's just be real, homie. If I'm gassing your son up, whatever activity he doing, and you, his father's gassing him up, and then he has a support system of him, it can be an activity, it can be a sport. If we like, hey, Cash, continue to do what you doing great, and we all behind you, that's gonna make that kid want to motivate. I will hope
Right.
it will make him want to
Motivate
motivate
them.
to
Yeah.
continue to do that activity he's doing.
Right.
And that's why you got to have your strong
Positive
unit,
energy.
positive energy, and that's where I coach.
Right,
And
right.
even with me, I know this for a few strong fact. A lot of those women don't have male role models in their children's life, so they treat it like a daycare center where they just like, I just need them to be around a man because they don't know what to do with their sons.
Right.
So I am teaching them how to be a man, not just on football, just on some. Hey, when I'm speaking to you, look at me in my eye. Say yes, sir. Shake my hand. Like
Right.
some of these kids don't even know how to act like that. They're so being up under their mothers for whatever reason, whether the father is there, whether the mother's trying to keep the child away from the father, whatever the case may be. A lot of these young men don't even have that male role model just to look up to, just to see how a man's supposed to operate, just what basic needs.
Let's get them nuclear families back
Man,
together.
we need that,
We need
bro.
the feminine
What you
and we need the
said-
masculine in the house. Look, not to cut you off.
It's cool.
We running out of time. I want to go to the next topic because we kind of drugged that one a little bit. This one is big on me for me. A lot of people don't like my views on this. I don't give a fuck. This is a hill I'm willing to die on. Childhood obesity is childhood obesity.
Get off my lineman, bro. No line, no shine, bro. I got an obese son. He obese on that football field.
It's fucking child abuse, bro. That's a hill I'm dying on. Your kid can't eat nothing that you don't buy for them to put in their mouth. It is a fucking epidemic.
It is, though.
And we need to get control of this shit. Matter of fact, where these fucking statistics? Let me go, because I know.
Nobody arguing with that one.
Listen, we're not arguing against you on that one.
I know, but
if they big and athletic, though, bring them my way to the LA Chiefs, man.
14.7 million kids and teenagers in the U.S. are affected by a 19.7 obesity prevalence rate, with higher rates among younger age groups. So the younger you go, the kids are getting fatter now. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. You seeing toddlers, like, literally morbidly obese already. It says 12.7%, 27%, and 22.2% of children between the ages of 2 to 5, 6 and 11, 12 to 19 are obese. And it says 150 million children are currently obese worldwide, and this number is expected to rise to 206 million by 2025.
Okay.
And we all know how many people die by obesity a year. We all know the health,
other side effects, so
side effects of
hypertension,
obesity.
Diabetes for sure.
We gotta get a grip of this shit. The U.S. is the most obese place in the world, to where it's toddlers in diapers.
This is fast food is fast.
Fucking obese.
And people
We need to get a handle on this. This is a hill I'm dying on. It is fucking abuse, and I'm blaming the parents. Parents, get your shit together. Stop. I know we want to all make our kids happy.
You right. No,
buy snacks.
You right.
No, you right.
Bro, you right, bro.
They don't want to cook. They want to do the drive-through.
You want to do the drive-through.
Every
The
day.
processed food.
Get your ass in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But it's that number one at McDonald's. That's easily, 1,500, 2,000 calories just in that one meal.
Yeah.
Set the example. Take your kids to the gym with you. First of all,
Facts.
you get your big ass in the gym.
That is true.
Take your kids with you,
Wait,
because
I thought
they're
you was talking to all
watching you.
parents.
You're not finna tell your kids, hey, you need to stay in shape, and your ass is on the fucking couch eating hot chips and shit all day.
But
Like,
that's
come on,
structure
bro.
and
Set
rules,
that
though.
example.
That is
That's
structure.
That's structure
There
and
you go.
rules.
That is structure.
Telling you,
rules.
people hate structure, but structure works. It
Structure and
works.
rules.
Yeah.
That's another
It's
thing
annoying,
that
but
don't
it
fall
works.
under that masculine category. You feel me? That's structure and rules.
It is.
And when you let yourself go, that's why, like, when I'm a little heavy right now too.
Give it back
And
on your shit, young.
off top, and
Get on your
that's
shit.
feminine. Like, and even your woman be like, "You done got fat, nigga. Like, what is you doing? Like,
Man,
you off
I'm
your
fat
structures
buff.
and rules."
They love it.
I'm going
Nigga,
to tell the homies,
hey,
quick,
I'm-
get your fat ass in the gym.
Hey,
Stop
I'm
playing.
fat, but hey, I can still bust down. My linemen, no line, no shine, bro. We need y'all. We need the big boys, but we don't want, just because you big, you can't be out of shape. You got to be big and be able to move with it. Homie.
Get on your Aaron Donald shit.
There
can
you
be big,
there we go.
But
Trent
solid,
Williams.
though.
Oh, exactly. Look,
Come
solid
on,
with
bro.
it, bro.
Solid, though.
You could be a millionaire, brother. No
Childhood
line, no
obesity,
shine.
man. Get a grip on that. I'm tired of seeing these fat ass fucking kids. It pissed me the fuck off. Nothing I hate more than seeing the
Kid,
fat
hey,
ass
CG
kids.
is dropping his,
Leave the
his
kids
off at middle
alone.
school.
They can only do what they are presented with.
Exactly.
So leave the kids alone and just talk to the people
CG
that's
is pissed
purchasing
off
the
at
food.
7 a.m. dropping his kids
I'm
off.
talking to the parents though, because it's all on the parents. Your kid cry, you want to shut them up, you go get no, fuck all that. I don't give a fuck how much you cry. You gonna thank me later.
Facts.
Give
And
your
on top
kids
of
a
that, too,
chance.
they
Because the
self-esteem
I think
as
a lot
well,
of parents
too.
are busy, so they do. Like I said, with the social media and the electronics, they just go buy the electronics, they go buy the fast food, whatever, because they busy, they don't have enough time, so they just do whatever.
But you got to.
I mean, I'm not making excuses for it or agreeing with it, because I
You
do
got to
think
prioritize.
you
And
gotta
then,
keep it
but
down.
again, you chose to be a parent. You could have gotten an abortion. Not like that. If you knew you wasn't going to have time for it, that's on you as the parent.
That's
You
a
got
whole nother-
it's
that's a whole nother
accountability,
discussion.
ownership.
Yeah.
But that's that feminine
is
energy that
accountability.
we're giving typically the moms, because a lot of these moms are doing it.
Look, this
is
been a good little melting pot of conversation. We're running out of time. Last question I want to ask, because I want to know how each of y'all deal with this as parents, because we all deal with it. How do you deal with kids and they fuck, I'm tongue tied. This
Manipulation?
motherfucker today.
That's what
They
you're trying to say.
manipulation tactics, pinning parents against each other. Oh, dad told me blah, blah, blah. Then go to mom. Dad said what? Now you beefing. And they benefiting off the shit. How do y'all deal with that?
You asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you,
So
bro.
I'm gonna just use my son, my oldest son. His mother and I are not together. We had to go through court custody. I just received joint custody of my son. Let me get a hand clap for that this year. Joint custody of my son.
Black man, stand
Man,
up.
off top. Man, fight for
Black
your kids.
father, stand up. Hey,
I don't give a
fight.
fuck. Fight for your
Brief
kids.
intermission. Fight for your kids.
that.
I'm tired of hearing
I say
y'all. Oh
that
man,
shit.
she took the
I don't
kids
give a
and
fuck.
get your bitch ass in
Fuck
court.
them baby mamas that keep them kids away from them motherfuckers.
That part. Get
Fuck
your
them
punk ass in
serious.
court and fight
On
for the
me,
kids,
fuck
man.
them.
I don't care how
Yeah.
long it take.
Nigga.
Fill
don't-
that
hey,
paperwork out, bro.
Hey, don't commit. Nigga, fight hard for them. But anyway, nah, so I've been in this situation millions of times of dad said this, mom said that, all this and that. When you with me, this is what the rules is going to be. Your mama don't run shit at this household. We are not together, so I tell them this. This was going on in my house. These are my rules. This is what you expect by. I don't care what's going on over there. This is what I'm telling you to do. You in my care right now. This is the program. That's it. That's all. Not to sound so direct like a dictatorship, but I'm your father. You're my son. Everything I'm telling you is for your well-being. I'm not going to tell you or make you do anything wrong or put you in a position that's going to go to jail or anything that's going to harm you. So what I'm telling you is for your well-being. That's it. That's all. There is no discussion when it comes to me and that.
Round of a fucking applause.
Yeah, I'm kind of, yeah, we were very similar like that. So me, my daughter, father and I, we split when my daughter was like 1.5, 2. So very similar rules. So she always had 2 households. One ran one way, one ran. He's not as structured as me. He's more like do whatever, but do what I say, but like way more lenient. So we just ran it like that. Like whatever you got to do over there, that's what you do over there. She got accustomed to that. She knows that. And then she knew when she came to my house,
Straight
the
up.
structure is together, is this and there, and vice versa. Like he never complained about the stuff that happened over here. Even if he thought it, I'm sure he thought plenty of things, but he never said it. And there was times she would come home and say, oh, well, I did this and my dad. And I'd be like, what up? That's as long as you came back in one piece, you ain't harmed, you ain't hurt. What goes on in that house is that house. What goes on in my house is my house, and it worked.
More women need to follow that.
Now, real shit.
More women
Honestly,
need to follow that
for real.
protocol.
That's
I
it. Because
love
you can only control where you pay bills at. And you know what? And honestly, I think it's a maturity thing because, of course, I had my daughter young. I talked about that. And so when I first had my daughter, I used to try that. I used to try to be like, well, over there, y'all need to do what I'm doing over here. And then I used to go back and forth.
But you
and then
can't run
literally,
that, yeah.
eventually, I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm weighing myself down.
Yes, you are.
And I'm talking to myself. And I'm the one all stressed out and uptight. And I'm crying and I'm mad. And he over there like, well, I mean, I tried, but I forgot what she told me to do or something like that. So it's like we kept beefing. And then after a while, I was like, you know what? Let me stop beefing because it's like, as long as my kid is healthy, she's safe, there's no issues with her, like, go, be with your dad, have so much fun you need to have. You just know over here, we're going to have to do things differently. And that's how I did it. And it took it was only like a couple of years, maybe the first 2 or 3 years that I always be like, can y'all just follow my directions? But I started realizing like, I don't live over there and I don't pay no bills over there. So I can only control what I can control. So move on.
Yeah, same. So like because I got custody of my daughter already and my son, like
Black father, stand up.
Always.
off top, and that's why it made her, my son's mom the most important woman to me because in order for me to control the house, I need to be with her, and while she's with me, and then I got control over my kids. Now, if we got to break up and go into separate houses, I'm not gonna be able to dictate what's going on. Like I'm blessed to have a baby, my first baby mama that likes her freedom and stuff. So like,
So that's all you.
Yeah, I get to take her son, and I know he got an effect on my daughter. So her son 12, my daughter's 9, and then my baby's 1. So like at my house, I got my kids. I get to run things, but I understand and respect that ain't nobody more important than your baby mama, because if y'all break up and y'all go separate, then you lose a little bit of that strength that y'all would have if y'all was in the same house.
Pick right. That's true. But as you still
You can't say pick right, but depending on when you have
Pick
your
right.
kid.
Pick right.
Yeah,
No,
but
you gotta
depending on when
pick
you have
right.
your
You gotta pick
kids,
right.
Fuck all that.
You
Pick
gotta pick-
right.
you
you
gotta pick
have
right.
to in a perfect world, but the
Men and
reality
women, we
is that
both
most
gotta
people
pick
Make
right.
your
right.
world perfect and pick right.
Most people
Stop
should,
sticking
but-
your dick in anything and busting
real.
off into stop
For real. Just because it looks good,
and
it
busting off
good.
in you.
to pick right at a younger
Sorry
age.
to use that
but that's
language
why
on
we
a
shouldn't have
parent
kids
episode.
That is true. We
That's
should
why.
not have kids at a young. That's another.
That's
That's
another.
another thing.
But again,
But yeah,
accountability and ownership.
that's true.
No,
And-
women
yeah.
should have kids young, but they
But
should
they
do it
gotta
with little
pick-
older
exactly.
guys.
But I think the point that we
The older,
making that
mature
here, and
guys.
like
It's
the
not
point
all
that you
older guys are
made,
mature.
I think more brothers just need to commit to that 50-50 custody.
Yeah.
And because it ain't that bad.
It's
I think
hard
niggas
to
be scared of that
It's
50-50.
easy.
They do.
No.
A lot
I'm
of them
gonna
do.
just say this. It's not that. This is California, bro. You gotta earn that 50. You gotta fight hard for that 50-50 because this is a women's state. They are giving the women the children, and you have to prove to the courts, if it gets to that point, that you are valid father.
It's an uphill battle.
It's
bro.
an uphill.
The laws are in place are set for the women.
For like literally, you got to have so much proof
Yeah, oh God.
that this woman is not fit to have this child full time. You have to show everything, every text
That's a
message.
fact.
You got to fight. You got to be on your P's and Q's,
fact.
homie. Like that's where I feel like as men, we could, because we so structured. If we put our mind to it, we can win it.
That's a
we
fact.
can win it. You just got to be structured and disciplined.
Listen, I had a lot more topics. We ran out of
Yeah.
time.
It's
So
good. Do it
we
again.
definitely gonna do another one.
I
We
love
definitely gonna do another one because like I said, I'm big on parenting, and this generation is struggling because these little motherfuckers is wild, and we need
They
to
are
get a
wild.
grip on this
Facts.
shit because boy, this generation is crazy. I'm gonna end it with this as far as that question went. Parents, stop letting your kids parent you. They're the fucking kids.
Hey, round of applause.
Stop.
Can we-
Right.
Can I get a round of applause on that?
Hey, this nigga spitting today.
Stop letting
Nigga ate
your
his
kids
Wheaties.
parent you.
Trying to be their
Because
friend.
what'll happen is kids will go from one house, just say you co-parent, go to one house, lie about what went on over here because they didn't get their way. Now you got baby mama fucking blowing up baby daddy phone.
Facts.
And this shit didn't even really happen. Or
Right.
vice versa. They coming over here lying to dad about some shit mom probably didn't even do.
Right.
You didn't even what's the word I'm
Verify,
looking
you
for?
just jumped
You
to
didn't even
conclusions.
verify. You
Yeah.
just jumped down her neck.
Jumped to
Because y'all
conclusions.
might have been beefing. Y'all might have had a bitter breakup. Now every chance you get, you want
You want beef.
take your feelings out of it.
Right.
Learn how to co-parent cohesively. Stop letting kids run the household. You run the household. Period.
Yeah.
We're going to end it on that note. The
Hey,
viral
man,
one.
love it.
Yeah.
That was, hey,
We about to go viral.
that was, no, on me. No, I know this.